episode is going to cover and deal with the issue of the difficulties people face unplugging their network of friends and loved ones when it comes to this type of information. I get emails all the time from viewers and subscribers complaining that they find a high level of difficulty in communicating this type of information and this type of what people call conspiracy to their network of friends. They tell me how people reject this information, people fight it, people laugh at you, people call you crazy, call you names. And this is very common when it comes to this type of thinking and this type of knowledge, and I faced it. I assure you that everyone else who've delved into this realm of research has faced it. When I first started looking into this stuff and discovering this stuff and realizing what is wrong with the world, I felt like it was my obligation to tell and convince everyone around me of this new type of information that I have come across. But in essence, years down the line, I've learned that it does not work this way. A lesson comes to mind, and this is an ancient Chinese lesson where when teachers wanted to teach knowledge, they used to tell their students that when someone is thirsty, you give them half a cup of water. If they remain thirsty, then you supply them with the second half. This means that first, when someone needs to acquire knowledge, he first has to be thirsty for it. And only after his thirst has been communicated to you, you supply them with half a cup of water. You don't shower them with a full gallon of water, because this is only going to push them away. You give them half a cup. If they ask for the second half, you supply it to them. If they don't, it's not your responsibility. They will sooner or later in their lives. The best way for people to see and change their way of thinking is for them to experience the change, is for them to see and research this knowledge rather than someone telling it to them. So if you do care about someone, or if you do want to share this information, you got to be very subtle. You got to do it in a smart way, and you got to bring the person in. Ask them questions instead of supplying the answers. You're sitting watching the news with your friend, and he's talking about certain situations being broadcast on the news. Ask him, why do you think this is this way? Why do you think these stories are covered? Through such type of discussion, rather than preaching, you will build a certain level of trust or a level of comfort between you and the desired listener. And this can help you now to take it to the next step, which is to facilitate ways for him or her to achieve or receive the knowledge that you find valuable. Then the ones who are ready to see and the ones who are ready to be unplugged will do so. Why does this happen? Why would people reject such knowledge? Why would people fight such knowledge? Why would people attack you? Well, it happens most definitely for one of the following reasons.
Have to understand, most of these people are not ready to be unplugged. And many of them are so inert, so hopelessly dependent on the system that they will fight to protect it.
Et je voudrais que vous puissiez apporter de la lumière sur certains degrés supplémentaires au 33e degré qu'on trouve dans la franc-maçonnerie. Où se trouvent ces degrés supplémentaires et selon votre avis, pourquoi existe-t-il à ce niveau?
Bon. D'abord, il y a 33 degrés connus de la franc-maçonnerie. Du premier degré au 33e degré, c'est pour tout le monde. Normalement, automatiquement, les francs-maçons nous enseignent qu'ils sont là pour lutter contre l'Église catholique de Rome. Mais la franc-maçonnerie a été créée par l'Église. À partir du 34e degré, vous avez déjà des prêtres. Il y a des pasteurs aussi qui ont là-dedans. Des surintendants aux États-Unis. Vous avez des rabbins. Vous avez des prêtres. On avait deux sikhs. Vous avez des musulmans. Vous avez des hindous. Vous avez même des bouddhistes. Alors, plus vous montez dans les chambres hautes, plus que le nombre est réduit, mais plus que les personnes sont importantes. Vous avez des représentants du système bancaire. Vous avez des représentants des grandes multinationales, comme les compagnies d'aviation, toutes ces choses-là. Alors, remarquez que quand il y en a une qui tombe, toutes les autres tombent. Ils sont en train de perdre du pouvoir. Vous avez des chefs religieux. Plus que vous montez, les banques, les compagnies disparaissent. Ils sont remplacés par des chefs religieux qui sont placés là par des compagnies. Vous savez, quand le pape meurt, le pape est élu par des cardinaux. Qui fait l'élection du pape? Ce n'est pas les cardinaux, c'est des chefs d'État. Les chefs d'État téléphonent à leur cardinal qui sont là, je veux que tu votes pour un tel. Une chose que vous ne savez pas, c'est que pour être pape, vous n'êtes pas obligé d'être prêtre. Hein? Tout homme mâle, c'est marqué comme ça dans la Constitution de la loi canonique, tout mâle catholique romain pratiquant, ayant une bonne conduite et n'ayant pas subi de scandale ou de faillite depuis 5 ans peut être élu pape. Ceux qui sont dans la maçonnerie. Alors les hauts degrés, plus vous allez en haut, plus vous allez en haut, plus vous allez en haut. Le pape Paul VI a été le seul pape au monde en ayant une tiare avec 4 couronnes. La tiare du pape représente 3 couronnes. Le pape est roi 3 fois, en plus de se proclamer roi des rois. C'est là son place. Le pouvoir religieux, le pouvoir politique et le pouvoir monétaire. Et Paul VI était le grand maître suprême de la franc-maçonnerie mondiale. Parce qu'il y a 2 pyramides, et la pyramide européenne et la pyramide nord-américaine. Le grand maître de la pyramide nord-américaine et le grand maître de la pyramide européenne sont le 38e degré. Ils sont 2. C'est bon. Je sais qu'il y a des chefs religieux, puis c'est tous des religieux là-dedans. Mais le chef suprême était Paul VI. Le dernier qui a été connu était Paul VI, puis il s'est dévoilé sans pouvoir le faire par sa tiare. C'est 4 couronnes. Parce que Paul VI avait donné sa couronne aux Nations Unies quand il était allé aux Nations Unies. Puis quand les chrétiens ont découvert le Vicarius Filii en dedans et qui ont découvert le degré de Paul VI dans la maçonnerie, ils ont fait disparaître la tiare et n'existe plus maintenant.
So who controls Freemasonry? The Jesuits, there's no doubt about it. Here, we have confirmed the induction of the Knights Templar Mason into the councils of the said order of knighthood and confiding that he will ever be so demean himself as to conduct to the glory of IHS, the most holy and almighty God, and to the honor of the mark we do recommend. There's a ritual in Freemasonry which is totally Jesuit. So the Jesuits control Freemasonry. Here's a Freemason temple, if you like. It's in Oklahoma. There is IHS. This is a Freemason temple. It's a lodge. There is IHS in it. There are still old ladies, male and female, about the country who will tell you with grim gravity that if you trace up Masonry through all its orders till you come to the grand tip-top head Mason of the world, you will discover that the dread individual and the chief of the Society of Jesus are one and the same person. James Patron, American historian. There are many that say these things. Knights of Malta. The Freemasons are in the foreground, while the Jesuits and the Knights of Malta are in the background. The Jesuits control even the Knights of Malta. Now, who are they? Well, they are headquartered in Rome, these knights. They used to be on an island, but besides that, they used to be a military order. They are still a military order. They are knights. They control the banking of the world, the industry of military complexes of the world. They oversee Chase Manhattan Bank with all its branches. They rule all the intelligence communities, the KGB, the CIA, and all of these things to restore the Dark Ages. Everything I'm saying is a quote. I'm saying nothing. Don't accuse me of saying anything. I'm just reading. Now let's have a look who the members of the Knights of Malta are. That should be interesting. Some past, some present. General Alavena, George Anderson, Angleton, Azru, Bertie, Bobs, Bonaparte. Does that name ring a bell? Borges, Bradley, Brady, Pat Buchanan. Does that name ring a bell? James Buckley, Prescott Bush. Does that ring a bell? Frank Capra, William Casey. Does that ring a bell? The CIA. Cisnero, Cooks, Coughlin, Loach, Giscard d'Estaing. Does that ring a bell? President of France, Bill Donovan, Alan Dulles, Avery Dulles, Edward Egan, that's of course the Cardinal himself, Franz Egon, John Farrell, Flanagan, Flynn, Gelly, Galen, Gorman, Grace, General Alexander Haig. Does that ring a bell? Otto von Habsburg, wow. Konrad Hilton, Heinrich Himmler. He was Knights of Malta. J. Edgar Hoover, FBI, CIA fame. Joseph Kennedy, Ted Kennedy, Larkin, Lehman, Lorenzo, Luce, Henry Luce, founder of all the great magazines and Time magazine and all of them. Great publishing magnate, McDonald, Manhattan, you name them, all of them. O'Neill, The Grand Design Exposed says, the truth is the Jesuits of Rome have perfected Freemasonry to be their most magnificent